Welcome back, everyone. As you probably guessed from the video title and thumbnail, Olight is having a flash sale for this month, and there's something that's very interesting to, probably I should say, very interesting to a lot of you guys out there, and that is this light right here. We're going to go over a couple other lights as well, but this one I think is going to be very interesting to most of you and is going to sell out very quickly. That is my prediction. This is the PL Turbo in their Valkyrie line. It is a 66,000 candela weapon light, and again, just key feature right now during the sale, it's under $70. So that's just crazy in terms of performance. There really isn't anything else out in the market that performs anywhere near that is under $200. So again, I don't really think it's going to be in stock, but some features on it real quick is it does take two CR123A batteries. You guys can see the compartment there. It is O-ring sealed, and then it kind of just flips down like that. It does have their locking system on there. Unlike in the past, they've had some quick detach system. It doesn't have quick detach, but what this system allows for you to do is allows you to change the position where it actually mounts on the pistol in terms of how close it is to the trigger guard by just pushing over and then adjusting it. So that is a pretty smart system. And actual interface, if you will, is these two paddles on each side. It does the same thing with both. So just press for momentary and hold and click for constant. So that is the PL Turbo. And moving on to other lights, we have this guy here, and it comes in this configuration. So you get your holster with it, and then you also get this piece, if I could get it out, which is the place that you can mount it to a wall. So it has screw holes, and then it also has 3M backing tape on there, so you can carry your light in your holster, and then again, when you're done with it, just kind of mount it up on a wall or something like that. And it does take a USB-C charger right there on the bottom that will actually charge your light in the holster. So it's kind of a system, if you will, and the actual light itself is pretty impressive in terms of output, as you guys will see when we go to a beam comparison here shortly. So the Seeker 4 Pro has some cool things to it. One thing that I thought was really cool is that the portion around the control lever here is that you can see the lights on is actually aluminum, so it's see-through aluminum. Kind of cool. But anyway, so it has this wheel here which allows you to change the intensity, as you guys can see there, just by moving it around. It does have a lockout mode as well, so that way you don't burn yourself if you're carrying it. We have our magnetic tail cap, and of course it is rechargeable there in the battery. You can double click for turbo, and does have our 21700 battery on there. It is O-ring sealed as well, and the threads are lubricated. But yeah, it comes back on to wherever you left it. So it does have a memory mode on there, and it's like, I think 17,000 candela and plenty of lumens as well to go with it. As you guys will see, it definitely has some serious output. Next light up is going to be this one here. It's the Baton 3 Pro. Obviously a smaller light, has that magnetic tail cap as well, and it does come with a magnetic tail cap charger, as you would expect. Very similar. We have our switch here on the side. The green is going to let you know the battery status, and of course this one tells you battery status and intensity, if you will. This one also, if you shake it, will show you, it has like a motion sensor, if you will. So if you're looking for the button in the dark, it is there for you. And basically to turn it on, you just click it, and to work through the different modes, you just run through the different modes and double click or turbo. Also has that two-way switch on there, which I know a lot of folks like because it does allow you to go hands-free if you're wearing a baseball hat or something like that. Not a super high output type of light, but for the size it's a super high output type of light, if that makes sense. I also have a limited edition color of the O-Pen Glow. So this one here, you charge via a USB-C port right there as well. And it actually has capability to have a little bit of a light on there. You can turn it on when you write, and it actually illuminates the paper. My wife's a fan. She's like, all lights, all pens should have this. Also has a laser, as you guys can see, that is turned on by pushing up here on the button. And then of course you can press down on the top and work through the different light modes. We're not going to show you this one at night, but just know we've shown it plenty in the past, and it is way brighter than an iPhone, which I think is what they're trying to compete with. Additionally, for this audience, that is aluminum. It could definitely be used as an improvised weapon in a non-permissive environment for sure, and it doesn't scream like tactical light, obviously, by the color scheme that you guys see here. And with that, let's check out the beam comparisons rather as the lights go down. As always, we have my camera set on manual to as close to what I see with my human eye as possible. We have a good bit of illumination, natural illumination out here tonight. And basically, the spot there where that chair is, where the wood fence meets the iron fence right there, that's approximately 30 meters away. The trees out there in the background are anywhere from 40 to 50, depending on the actual tree itself. The output that you're seeing here is from the Olight PL Turbo. So you guys can get an idea up close at this distance. That hot spot is pretty tight, pretty intense. On the fence there, it kind of washes out a little bit on camera, but in real life, it doesn't do that at all. It's one of the limitations of using a camera, and you can see the edge on there for the spill is very, very defined. Next, you see the output here from the Seeker 4. This is on low. You can see totally different beam pattern, obviously. So it does have a little bit of a hot spot there in the center, but it's very, very wide and has a ton of spill as we work it across. Now we'll just kind of work through the different modes there by turning that dial. And you can see there that is as bright as it gets. It is a wall of light, but it does have pretty high candela. Like I said, about 17,000 candela. So it can throw as well, but as you can see, really no edge to where that flood kind of drops off. It's just kind of a steady decline. I would say it's probably about 100 and maybe 170 degrees of light, not quite 180, but pretty darn close, which is impressive when you consider the candela that it has, for sure. Lastly, we have the Baton 3 Pro. This is on low, and we'll work through the different modes here. And that's low, medium, high, and then we're going to double click for turbo, and that is your turbo mode. Essentially, it is a shrunken down version of what you guys just saw. It has a smaller hotspot for sure. Also has a ton of flood, but obviously it's a much smaller package as well. Now let's step out to distance. For the new folks here, we are about 10 yards back on my property, then across the lake is 110 yards shore to shore, and then there's a fishing shack about 10 yards on my neighbor's property, so about 130 yards is what we're going to be showing you here in terms of illuminating these objects. So this right here is that PL Turbo, and just kind of zooming on in. I find that after editing a lot of these videos that the zoomed in version on these shots is closer to what I see here with my human eye than what the camera does back here, because back here it doesn't quite show you the details that you can see with your human eye, but you can see there those candela are doing a good job of letting you know what is out there. You would definitely know if somebody was standing out there in front of the building. You would know if they had something in their hands, etc. But of course the con is back here, the rosemary bush on my property. You're only illuminating part of it here with the spill. And here we have the Seeker 4 all the way turned up. So you guys can see again, it's got 17,000 candela. So it has the horsepower to get across there and illuminate stuff out there at that shack for sure, but also throwing out a wall of light. So even here, my rosemary bush that you guys see on the right side of your camera is fully illuminated and just kind of going all the way down, and then it'll just click it and go back into turbo. That is a lot of light in a lot of different directions. Lastly, we have the Baton 3 Pro, and you guys can see just doesn't quite have the horsepower at distance. Still does very well for a light of its size, but it is not designed to be a candela monster, and just giving you a wall of light for a little bit closer in type of applications. Of course, it could still do the job of letting you know if somebody was out there, just not quite as well as the bigger options. Now that you've seen the beam comparison, that's all I've got for you. As always, with any Olight video, there will be links down below. Again, that is an affiliate link, full disclosure. There will also be a link to a mental health professional that should help some of you guys out who get mad about videos of flashlights on the internet. It's irrational. And again, I hope you guys get better and seek out help for that condition. And with that, we'll close the video out. Thanks for watching. I truly appreciate it and look forward to seeing everybody in the next video.